Pisces. What is going on, my loves? We're about to get into your reading, and you should be seeing this reading on Friday. So happy Friday, stanky poos. I hope you're doing well. I hope these messages help you because, guys, I am working diligently towards having our breakdowns very organized because we are working on building and we are working on progress. Okay, so I'm not going to tell you everything, but just pay attention. If you watch the readings daily, if you like daily content, you can definitely find that over here, and there's plenty of archive content. And even if I don't post daily, okay, there's definitely going to always be something here for you if you need it, okay? Don't bring anything into your life that does not belong, all right? Sometimes we post once a day, sometimes we post twice a day, sometimes we may skip a day, but that is okay. Because we're going to get what we need to get done in order to make progress and work towards our goals. Pisces, in order to do that, I have taken some time to meditate and think on different things that I want to talk to you guys about during the week. On each day, we're going to have a few different topics that we may discuss. And you may get 2 readings in a day. It just depends on, what's going on and how things are moving. I really want you to take the messages that belong to you and just know that everything may not be for you, but if there is a message, you will know. All right. And Friday is the day where we kind of review. I want to make Friday a day where we review like what's changed in the week, what's been going on, and possibly, depending on what the readings are going to be focusing on, we may do either what's changed or we'll do a reading about what you're working towards and like things that you need to know in regards to that. So, little burp. Okay, I knew it was coming. But we're going to get into that. Excuse me, okay? I hope you guys like the breakdown because I did try to do this a while back and it's all about experimentation. But I wanted to make it a little bit more seamless for us. So we're going to focus the reading this Friday on what's changed. We're just going to take a bite-sized chunk, bite-sized pieces. What's changed? Okay, what's changed this week? Basically from what you've experienced. What changes have you noticed or maybe not noticed? Okay, why the change has occurred and what the change will bring. We're going to first start off with some oracle cards. You guys, before we get started, be sure to like and subscribe, okay, to continue to catch the vibe. Share this with anyone who you think may need to hear it, whether they are Pisces or not, because they may have Pisces in their chart that either you know about or may not know about. Get in the comments, give your fellow Pisces any recommendations or encouragements, or just let them know that the reading is resonating, okay? And if you guys want to book a personal, all of that information is in the description box below. I really appreciate all of you guys for being here. Thank you so much for your support. And we're going to go ahead and get into it, okay? For Pisces, guardian angels, archangels, spirit guides, and ancestors of the highest vibration, Father, Mother God. Ooh. Getting a little tongue-tied, tongue twisted in there. Okay. What's changed for Pisces? What has changed this week? Okay. Ooh, the optimist. A breakthrough is imminent because of your optimism and perseverance that keeps lighting a clear path. So what's changed is your perspective. That's what it sounds like. It sounds like you guys have a more optimistic perspective, or your circumstances have changed because of your optimistic perspective. The way you look at situations, the way you perceive people, places, and things, the way you move throughout navigating your life and figuring out what you need to do. What are your next steps? What is the root cause of situations that you're dealing with? Because of your optimistic perspective, things have changed. And I feel like that's actually what's changed is your perspective. It's gone from maybe being a little bit more negative or a little bit more pessimistic to being more positive and more optimistic. At the bottom, you have the Clown. Don't take life too seriously. Allow yourself to laugh and have fun. Life is meant to be enjoyed, not fretted over. So you're coming out of a time where you were taking things really seriously and everything was a life and death situation. And I feel like that's really stressful. Like I feel like you were worried about a lot of things, or you were stressing out about a lot of things. I just heard that it could have caused you possibly to crash out a little bit. Okay. We talked about crash outs recently. You got to take it as you give it, and you got to take accountability and try to move forward the best way you can with a different attitude. But what it looks like here is that you guys are actually engaging more with your hobbies, or you're engaging more with things that you enjoy, which is causing you not to be so stressed and worried about things that you have to deal with. It also could help you not to take things as seriously as you were taking it before, because you have more fun and, excitement to look forward to in your life. Okay. Whatever was making you feel really heavy and serious, I feel like you guys have figured out some solutions to alleviate those stressors. Okay. Oh yes. Look at that symmetry. At the bottom, or at the back of the deck, we have the Wealth Bringer. You're attracting great wealth, either by discovery of a rare opportunity, or your hard work will be rewarded. So some of you guys are getting rewards for your hard work. This could literally be in the form of like raises or bonuses. Some of you guys, this could be new positions where you're getting a higher salary. Some of you guys, this could be just situations where you're being, I want to say, blessed with positive news, assistance, things that are kind of falling into place, like the pieces are falling into place for you. And it's because you've worked really hard and more than likely made a lot of sacrifices that were potentially the reason why you may have felt really stressed out in the past. Some of you guys, this is really making a major change. There's a wave here, and I feel like you're riding it. I feel like you guys are riding the wave. This is really positive too, because I feel like you incorporating more fun into your life, more excitement, more laughter, more joy is giving you a more positive perspective, which is helping you to gain more wealth or earn more money, whatever you see wealth as, possibly even being healthier. Getting outside, getting more exercise. But all of these things are because your perspective and your outlook has changed. Okay. Boom. Okay. We're gonna use this deck for sure. Cause at the bottom, that's a sign: laughter, happiness, joy, and healing. What has changed for Pisces spirit? This is nice. It's not come easy though. Okay, so we're not gonna sugarcoat it, because truth be told, this is a hard fought victory. For those of you who have really been doing the work to heal and to bring more joy into your life, to get into these hobbies and things that you really enjoy so that you can have more laughter and happiness, it's not been an easy thing. You guys have really had to be adamant about this. This is something that you've had to consciously incorporate into your life. And I think sometimes people take that for granted. Sometimes people look at happy people, or they see happy people, and they think that, oh, they're just happy naturally. And I think you guys have learned through this process that you've been going through that happiness is a choice. Happiness is not just guaranteed. It's a choice that you have to make every single day about how you're going to look at your life. And it's not easy, because when you're faced with challenges, a lot of things come, into your mind, and you have a lot of thoughts that push you more towards that negativity. And it's a lot easier to be negative than it is to be positive. So I feel like when I'm saying this, it makes it sound really simple, but I feel like you guys should pat yourself on the back and acknowledge how much hard work you've actually put in to have this new perspective. Because it's not a perspective that's just readily available. It's a perspective that takes hard work and dedication. So, okay. What's changed for Pisces this week, Spirit? What has changed for Pisces this week? Ooh, look at that. 2 cards together. Running and hopeless. Okay? So you're no longer trying to escape situations. You're no longer trying to avoid situations. You're definitely not throwing any more pity parties. You guys are like, nope. Any situations that felt like they would never be resolved, or any situations that you felt very hopeless and negative about, that's changed. Okay? The running card says escape, denial, excuses. You're not making any excuses for yourself or anyone else. You're not in denial about the things that you need to work on. Even if you're not at the finish line, you guys are making progress. Okay? It keeps coming up. Ooh, there goes another burp. Came up as well. Now we also have the hopeless card that says loss, depression, and let me not say that. Self-deletion. Loss, depression, self-deletion. Okay. You may have felt like you wanted to end it all. You may have felt like that was the only way for you to escape some type of stress or anxiety that you had in your life. There could have been a large amount of debt that you owed. There could have been a lot of sadness that you experienced, possibly a loss of a family member, or just things that are just automatically going to make you feel not so great, right? I think you guys are facing it. You're getting to the root cause of it, and I feel like you're pulling it up. You're weeding the roots of this negativity. You're weeding it. You're finding the source. You're pulling the bulb out from the ground, and you're plucking it, throwing it away. Okay, I'm a little wired, y'all. I had a few cups of coffee because it's been a lot going on. School registration is coming up. All these different things I'm trying to get together. So I'm a little wired, so I wouldn't be tired. Okay. At the bottom, we have clingy, old exes, dead relationships, old ways. Then we have exhausted, burned out, burdened, and empty. Ooh. See. Wow. So I feel like you're just facing the truth about things that you've been running from. You're dealing with things that you haven't dealt with. Like, you're dealing with things that you were pushing off, kicking the can down the road. You're done doing that. Okay. It's like you're finalizing things. That's this door being closed. There are things that you were attached to, or things that were attached to you, trying to attach itself to you, people trying to attach themselves to you, people who you were still connected to in some way, shape, or form. There was still a cord of connection to some type of negativity that I feel like you cut. That's what's changed. And because that cord was still connected, you were feeling drained. You were feeling exhausted. You were very tired. You really didn't have a lot to give. But by you facing the door, pulling whatever the wedge was out of the door so it could close completely, and then closing it, I feel like you guys are going to feel replenished. You're going to have more energy. You're going to feel more excited and ready for whatever comes next. Okay. What else has changed for Pisces? Feminine energy. Okay. The energy of receiving, gentleness, nurturing, mothering. Some of you are facing the fact that in order to receive, you have to be in the energy to receive. Some of you guys are working on that, trying to tap more into your feminine energy. But this could also be that you're going from being in your feminine energy to your masculine energy. Because if you were running from situations or feeling hopeless about situations, trying to avoid things, it may have required you to step a little bit in your masculine and take action, instead of just kind of being passive and letting things just happen however they happen. I'm not saying the feminine energy is passive per se, but it just depends on whatever your situation was, right? Whatever your situation was, in order for you to move forward and close the door completely, you may have either had to adopt the feminine energy or switch from the feminine to the masculine, switch from the masculine to the feminine. Take it how it resonates, okay? Smell the roses, slow down, take some time. Take some you time. Get out in nature. Okay. So yeah, you may have even connected with Earth. You may have done some grounding, touched some trees, hugged some trees, put your feet in the grass, twinkled your toes. Stagnant says stuck, dead end, frozen. Interesting. I feel like more of you went into this space of the feminine energy. But again, I think it's either way. It just depends on your situation. Some of you were in the feminine energy and things weren't really moving forward. So you may have had to assert some type of masculinity or dominance in order to move things forward. So just take that part how it resonates. Either way, whatever you had to do, whatever energy you had to adopt, whether it be masculine, feminine, or a mixture of both, I feel like the change that you made energetically in that way helped to unclog something that was clogged. Some of you may have had a clogged drain, some type of pipe or something that was clogged. Okay. One more card. What's changed for Pisces this week? What's changed for Pisces this week? Exhausted reverse. Yeah. You have more energy. You may feel more inspired. For sure. You may have a spark that comes back for something that you felt like you lost the spark for. Not salty. It's pink Himalayan sea salt, anyone? Okay. Bitter, angry, petty. Harmony, balance, peace, and happiness. Yeah, I feel like there was something that you may have been holding on to that was like the fact that you were holding on to something, or the fact that you didn't resolve something, caused there to be a cord, if I can speak, caused there to be a cord that was still connected to a situation that you needed to kind of like let go of in order to have more balance. Okay. Something that I feel honestly that you deserved to have your feelings, whatever your feelings were, whatever your feelings are, whatever you had to extract from your space, your mind, your thoughts, your emotions, your feelings, whatever you had to extract from your space, literally or metaphorically, you had the right to be bitter about it. You had the right to be angry about it. You had the right to feel salty or to want some type of vindication for whatever this is. Because I feel like there's been a lot of petty energy from others that you have been dealing with that needed to be extracted. You needed to close the door. You had to finally pull that wedge out. And a lot of you guys have a goal of wanting to slow down, wanting to have more harmony and peace, wanting to be able to stop and smell the roses and enjoy the smaller things, the simple things in life. Everything I feel for you guys when it comes to dealing with certain situations was so stressful and so complicated because people were making it stressful and complicated. I don't think that any of you guys aimed for a situation to be stressful and complicated. I feel like some of you may have had to take accountability for your lack of addressing the problem before it grew. I think that's something that, you know, some of you guys may want to sit with, because that's something that could have prevented it from growing and getting bigger and becoming even worse of a problem. But I feel like a lot of you guys have done that. Like, I feel like a lot of you guys have sat with yourself and taken accountability for your part, your role, the role you had to play. And I feel like you did that because it seems as if, you know, you can't, because this is saying what's changed. And we got that clingy card with the door being closed, old relationships, old situations, things that are played out. I don't think that you guys could have fully closed that door if you did not assess and address and take accountability for the part that you had to play. That's why I say that. And this is more than likely a confirmation of you taking those steps, whether it was you acting rashly, you know, crashing out on folks, taking your frustration out on other people, you know, moving recklessly or being irresponsible, not addressing things, ignoring things, whatever part that you played that caused the situation to escalate, Spirit is confirming to you that the reason why things are changing for you and the reason why these negative things are becoming positive or flipping in your favor is because you took all of the steps that you needed to take. You didn't skip any steps. So, just saying, honey. I'm just letting you know. You didn't skip any steps. You followed the directions that Spirit gave to you, and you didn't cut corners. You wanted to have a quality experience. You didn't want this. I feel like you didn't want something to come back to bite you in the future. And even if, it took a lot for you to handle it or deal with it, I feel like you dealt with it. High Priestess, period. So let's see. For Pisces, what's changed this week? Why the change occurred? What the change will bring? Ooh, yes. So what's changed this week is your perspective for sure. With the Sun card, the way you look at situations, things don't feel as heavy. Things don't feel as stressful. Things don't feel as exhausting. Like all of the cards, there's definitely a weight that I feel like has been lifted off of you. Some of you, your face is clearing up. You have acne that's clearing up. You may experience some type of hair growth or nail growth, something about that as well. Some of you guys are just happier. You feel happier. You feel like a weight's been lifted off of your shoulders. And even if there's things that you still have to resolve or deal with the Sun card, is basically saying that they're not as big. The things that you still have to resolve or the things that you still may have to overcome, they don't look as gigantic and huge. They don't look as insurmountable. They don't look as threatening and foreboding as what they may have looked like before. And I feel like it's because your outlook is more positive, or you've decided to grab the bull by the horns and take it head on instead of trying to avoid it or get around it. Again, you're not trying to cut corners. You're not trying to take the easy way out or skip steps. And I think that's made a lot of your experiences improve because you're choosing to face the issue head on. You want to look the devil in the face and call it by his name. And it's less intimidating when you finally do that. And I think that's what this is about. Wow, Pisces. The energy feels a lot, okay? The change occurred because you basically, I feel like, brainstormed an outcome, or you brainstormed solutions to help you resolve a problem. Okay, now you have a solution. Why? Because you got creative, or you believed, honestly, with the Page of Cups. You dreamed of this, or you believed this, or you found a way within yourself to see the outcome that you wanted as a possibility. If you're pessimistic or you're negative, that tends to be a time where it's more difficult for you to imagine or create or even see a pathway towards the outcome that you want. It becomes extremely challenging. But because I feel like a lot of you guys were very adamant about changing your perspective, and a lot of you guys did the work that you needed every single day, whether it's affirmations or whether it's morning walks, whatever it is that you incorporated in your routine to have a positive perspective, those things worked because it allowed the clouds to clear and allowed you to see a pathway towards the outcome that you would feel was more favorable in your situation. That's what I feel like that is. The Ace of Cups, child, what the change will bring, I feel like it's a blessing. I feel like it's love. I feel like it's also you appreciating and loving yourself more. There's definitely self-love. It could be love from others, receiving appreciation, admiration, or receiving some type of blessing from the universe. And look at this. The Six of Wands is at the bottom of the deck. So you definitely have a victory, or you have overcome something that was extremely challenging. And I feel like that's why this exhausted card is kind of in reverse, because not only was it mentally and emotionally and spiritually challenging, whatever it is that you were going through, but it was also physically challenging. So there could have been a lot of different things that you had to deal with in order to resolve whatever this is. I'm sorry, y'all. There's like this strong vibration of like a bass. You know how when people have speakers in your car? In the car, like, have y'all ever ridden in a car with somebody with big old speakers in the trunk? That's what I'm hearing right now in my house. And I think somebody's playing like music. I don't think it's a car. I think it's music. I have never heard that before. That is so crazy. Somebody must have just bought a new stereo. I ain't mad, because when I play my music, I don't want to hear nothing. I don't want to hear shit when I blast my music. But look at this Six of Wands. There's definitely something that you came out on top. There's a victory that you've celebrated here, or there's a victory that you've had. You came out on top of a challenging situation, and it's made you very happy. And I feel like it's caused you to kind of see the world in a different light. That's crazy. We're going to put that Six of Wands right there. Yeah. It was definitely something challenging, or something that was very painful. Like, again, yeah, Nine of Wands. This could have definitely been an abusive situation, or a situation where you've had to kind of deal with something over and over again. Like, every time you tried to resolve the issue, there was some type of issue resolving the issue, okay? So what is this Sun card for what's changed? This could also be a health situation. Again, disclaimer below. I'm not a doctor, lawyer, or psychologist, so please don't take this as medical advice. All the information is in the description box for that, okay? Get a professional opinion on anything you might need a professional opinion on, all right? Why is the Sun card here for what's changed this week for Pisces? You also could have lost some weight. I don't know. It's something like that. What's this Sun card here for Pisces? Why is this what's changed? Page of Swords, Four of Pentacles, and the Five of Wands. Some of y'all were like, no, I'm not budging. Some of y'all were being stubborn. But I feel, again, you had a reason to be stubborn because somebody was being petty and making... I feel like some of you guys experience in life, you definitely have had times where you've made mountains out of molehills. If you're being real with yourself, you probably know that there's been situations that you blew out of proportion. But I honestly feel like a lot of you guys were working diligently towards not doing that anymore. And somebody just would not, like, they were just putting their foot in the doorway and you were banging the door closed, trying to beat their foot. And metaphorically, they just would not move their foot. And you're like, just move your foot. Like, just move your foot out the way so I can close the door. And somebody's like, no. And it's just like, this time, even though you may realize within yourself that you made mountains out of molehills in the past, I feel like you really were not trying to do that. And I think somebody else's actions, because they were bitter about you cutting them off, or they were bitter about you having some type of victory over them or success in a situation that they didn't want you to succeed in, they made the mountain. And you ended up having to climb it because of their bitterness and their pettiness and their anger towards you for trying to maybe mitigate a situation or be fair to everyone involved. They didn't want it to be fair. They wanted you to deal with all of it. And I don't think that the universe or spirit wanted it to go that way. And I don't blame you. I feel like you got to use your intuition, because I feel like this is a situation where somebody was trying to take what little that you had, or somebody was trying to make something extremely difficult for you when you already were going through a difficult time, and you just refused to let it go. I feel like people were making threats at you. People possibly were being very confrontational with you. People could have been spreading gossip or creating lies on your name. They could have been trying to fight you in court. This definitely feels like a group of people or more than one person, possibly even an organization or corporation, who wanted to literally run you into the ground. They wanted to bulldoze over you. Bulldozer type of energy. And you didn't give up. You had some type of information, or you were going to get your point across, even if you didn't know exactly how things were going to play out. You had information that you wanted to bring to the light, and you refused to allow someone to bulldoze over you and silence you. That's what it feels like. You didn't give up. What's the Page of Swords with the Sun? King of Pentacles. This is a masculine energy, possibly towards Virgo, Capricorn, Leo, maybe even a Aquarius. I almost said Aries. Libra, Gemini. Yeah, Fool card and the Four of Swords. I feel like you were trying to free yourself peacefully or go towards some type of peaceful resolution to a conflict, and somebody just wanted to fight. Whoever this is, I don't know who this King of Pentacles is, but they may have had some type of power or control over whether or not you were freed or released from a situation, a contract, something like that. Because with the Page of Swords being here, it feels like there's money involved. It feels like there's legal contracts involved, some type of paperwork, signatures, things like that. Also information, okay, policies, rules, things like that. Yeah, the Emperor. What's this King of Pentacles involvement in the situation? I feel like somebody was watching you become free, or somebody was watching you have a new beginning, or be set free from something, be able to move on from something peacefully. You didn't talk to them, or they couldn't reach you, or it's something like that, where somebody was seeing you resolve a conflict, or somebody was seeing a conflict being resolved in your favor, and they were watching that happen, and I feel like they didn't want to let it go, so you didn't let it go. What's the King of Pentacles involvement in this? Child, I told you. Either this is the person you had a contract with, or this is the person who was being very toxic about not wanting to release you from whatever this is, not wanting to allow you to have that fresh start, that new beginning. It kind of feels like a person who, like, if you work for a job and this was your boss and you quit, they want to make your record look bad by saying they fired you or something like that. Or they change your attendance to make it look like you never showed up to work on time, knowing you came to work on time every single day. It's like somebody wanted to ruin your reputation or ruin your record, maybe mess up your credit so that you would have problems in the future, and so that whatever this fresh start that you had would be tarnished in some way. Yeah, Fool card and the Ace of Pentacles. They wanted to be attached to an opportunity or money. They wanted to be attached. They wanted you to still be attached to them in some way as you move forward. So, yeah, whether it was a divorce, whether it was leaving a job, whether it was moving or relocating, this is a situation where somebody saw you released from a situation. They saw you leaving something, and they did not want you to get off scot-free. They wanted you to have some type of attachment still to them, or they wanted to say that you owed them, or they wanted to have some way to still be connected to your new beginning, even if it was to cause chaos and stress you out. That's what this was. And I feel like I feel like a lot of you guys remained grounded with that. Even though the Four of Pentacles was there, I feel like a lot of you guys remained grounded, and I'm getting like you covered all of your bases, because there's 4 bases in like baseball, and the Four of Pentacles kind of looks like his feet are on the bases or something to me. It's popping up in my mind. I figure you covered all of your bases. That's what it feels like intuitively. Now, when it comes to why the change occurred, it's the Page of Cups. This is why. So why is the Page of Cups the reason for the change when it comes to this? Ooh, 9 of Pentacles reversed. Interesting. You had help. You had assistance. You didn't do something by yourself. You weren't alone. Whether this was spiritual guidance, whether this was your spirit team, guardian angels, archangels, spirit guides, ancestors, God, source, whoever you believe in, you did not handle this situation alone. I also feel like some of you may have had money saved up, or you had something that you were able to use to pay back what you owe, or deal with the legal fees that you had, or you were able to afford to do something. You had some type of savings, and even though you may have spent it, it was used to create a solution. You saw a way to handle something, or there was somebody who, if you didn't have it, somebody helped you. That's what it kind of feels like. Yeah, Ace of Swords and the title card definitely appears to be a contract as well. I feel like anything where somebody was trying to make you liable for something, or say that you were responsible for something that you weren't responsible for, I feel like there was a contract that either was null and void because it was something invalid with the devil, or it was a contract that clarified shared liability. Okay, listen, I'm not a lawyer, doctor, or psychologist, bitch, but you get what I'm saying? There was a shared victory here. So I don't know exactly what this is. It's kind of like whoever helped you had stake in the game. So that's why you didn't have to do it alone, because they also had some type of connection or desire, like kind of like the enemy of my enemy is my friend. That's what it feels like. I feel like you shared a common enemy with someone, and therefore you were able to benefit from their assistance, information, their knowledge, their wisdom, their resources. It's like it wasn't your resources, but it kind of was, because you were connected to this person either through marriage or through a title or through some type of shared experience, to where whatever this devil was for you was also a devil for somebody else, and it needed to be eradicated for that person as well as for you. So you benefited from that assistance. Also, if it's the other way around, if somebody was trying to make you the one who was liable for something when in fact both of you were liable, it kind of feels like something that a person was trying to make you handle all by yourself was something that both of you were supposed to handle together. So even though it's like somebody didn't want teamwork, it's like because of a legal or contractual agreement, they had to work with you as a team because you were both under contract and deemed as liable. That's what it feels like for me. But either way, it's like there was a victory that you saw when it comes to this. And I feel like you may have even asked for help, or you researched something. I feel like you were very curious to find the truth. For sure. With the Ace of Swords and the title card, that definitely feels like a contract. Or it feels like something that was in writing. This could also be like something that proved that you were the owner, or something that proved that someone else was the owner. Whatever the breakdown is, it's like the paperwork. There was some type of paperwork that clarified what needed to be done, or that created some type of clarity for what was really going on. There was a paper trail. Remember that reading, y'all? The paper trail? I can't remember what the title was. I think I even put something different on a thumbnail, but I don't know. But we just talked about that recently. There was a paper trail. Fool card. Woo. 10 of Pentacles. There could also be a situation where you were proven to be a relative or a family member when somebody else was not. Or if it was like something negative, you were proven to not be involved in something when somebody else was. What's the 9 of Pentacles reverse with this Page of Cups? 10 of Wands. A burden of proof. 10 of Wands. Like if you had a burden of proof, I feel like you had the proof, or you were able to fulfill the burden of proof because you had documentation or you had a paper trail. If there was a burden of proof that somebody needed to claim or solidify for you, they weren't able to solidify that burden of proof. I feel like they were trying to force something. But it's like, you get what I'm saying. Tower card, 9 of Swords. Ooh, all of a sudden, something was very stressful. And I feel like it was causing you anxiety. But it really feels like the anxiety was very short-lived because you might have prayed on it. You might have had like a sleepless night, or it's like, instead of panicking about the situation forever and ever, I feel like you guys decided to communicate in order to gain some type of clarity or to research history of documentation. Whatever you did it. There's also something that was very destructive or illegal. I feel like there was something that somebody was trying to do that was illegal. Somebody could have been trying to steal. They could have been very deceitful when it comes to their documentation, their record keeping, their business habits. Somebody could have been trying to steal or claim that you stole something, and there just wasn't. It's like, whoever this is, they walked into their own trap because they were trying to avoid the tower. And in the process of trying to avoid the tower, they acted deceptively, which led them to basically an authority figure or someone who had to mitigate or mediate the situation, or it led them right into... It kind of feels like the Hierophant is coming here as the Justice card. So it kind of feels like there was some type of religious or spiritual authority. This could be something karmic, I don't know, but it feels like they were led right into their own trap, kind of. It's something like that. It's like the way that they acted consistently over and over again, the repetitive ways that they were acting, or their history or their record from the past worked against them, right? So if somebody was trying to take you to court and they have a history of being a grifter or a thief, that criminal history worked against them and worked in your favor, because whatever you were claiming also supported whatever the court wanted to prove in order to eradicate the nuisance or threat of said person, right? I hope that makes sense. So there was something that just all of a sudden happened that stressed you out, kept you up at night, made you a little bit nervous. But I feel like there was clarity provided. Maybe you guys got some type of notification or documentation to give you clarity. And I feel like either you were found not to be liable, or you had some type of help from somebody, if you were liable, to rectify or resolve whatever the issue is. Let me get one more card for this Page of Cups. Ooh, 6 of Swords reversed. Look at that. Yeah, I feel like somebody was trying to force a situation to be more stressful or difficult than what it really had to be. The Page of Cups is also innocence, right? The 9 of Pentacles would be innocence, like virginity, the Virgo energy. This is definitely virgin energy, innocence. Page of Cups is childlike energy. It's innocence. I feel like somebody was trying to prevent you from leaving the country or prevent you from moving forward. This could be figuratively, metaphorically, or literally. But whatever this is, it's like they were trying to force your guilt in a situation. They were trying to force a situation to make you look guilty. Because I feel like something that they are doing or something that they're involved in is falling apart. And you're not liable for that. Like, that's not your responsibility that their situation is crumbling. I feel like their situation is crumbling because of the history of their actions, not because of anything that you did. And because of that, the same thing, because the history of their actions matched up with the way that they handle situations with you, it proved your innocence. Bitch, that's crazy. 3 of Pentacles in the Chariot. Recognition, possibly also building a case. This could be somebody who didn't want you to move on to a new job. They could have been trying to force you to stay in a position, even though you maybe were granted another position. Whatever this is, you were being carried by spirit. You were being carried by God away from something that no longer served you, and away from something that was very tumultuous and stressful. And whoever this is was trying to force you to be in a stressful situation that would ultimately leave you very financially unstable and make you accountable or culpable for something that you weren't even involved in. Somebody was trying to put the blame on you. But you have the documentation or the paper trail or the support from someone else who knows the truth, who knows the tea, that proved your innocence. Wow. Somebody could be getting out of jail. If this is not you, this could be involving somebody else that you know, okay? But what this change will bring, Ace of Cups. So why is the Ace of Cups describing what the change will bring? Okay. King of Wands. Bitch, it was kind of in reverse. Fool card, yep. That's why it was reversed, because this Five of Wands is here. I don't know if this is somebody very abusive, or if this is somebody who's rather controlling, or if this is somebody who was stealing your ideas, your intellectual property, your creative spark. But I feel like this was somebody competing with you. This is somebody who doesn't know how to control their anger. They have a lot of angry outbursts, probably don't know how to keep their hands to themselves. They may get in a lot of fights or have a lot of aggression towards people. And basically what this is saying is this change will create a scenario where you're free of this. You don't have to deal with this conflict. You don't have to be at this toxic ass job. You don't have to live in this toxic ass neighborhood. You don't have to deal with those toxic neighbors. You're basically being freed or removed from a toxic situation. And it's something to do with your loyalty, because I was drawn to the dog. I feel like you guys were very like loyal or faithful or honest, or there was something about your integrity that assisted with your freedom or your release or your removal from this toxic situation. Yeah, somebody's very angry because you beat them, or you won in court, or you got some type of victory in a situation, and now it's solidified. And for some of you, you're about to find out what all of this is, because some of you don't even know that all of this was happening. It's about to be brought to your attention. Some of you don't know, and this is probably why some of you may have been watching the readings lately like, what the fuck is this? Because I feel like spirit uses me sometimes to describe to y'all what's going on that you don't see. Honestly, I feel like that's a lot of what the readings are. It's like, I feel like that's even for other readers too. Even if you may sense something's going on, I feel like we're kind of confirming y'all's intuition, especially as of lately, as of like the last year and a half, 2 years. A lot of things that have been going on underneath the surface are things that we've been confirming for you guys that you can't quite like prove or put your finger on, but that you know something fishy going on. It stank. Smell like a dirty pussy. Funky fish. And you like, okay, where is the stank coming from? Y'all know in The Sims, when you play The Sims and it be glitching out, and you might have a bowl or a plate or something that the Sim ate off of, and it starts stinking, but it's stuck in like the wall or the cabinet, and you don't know where it is, but the Sim keep talking about, ew. And you be like, where's the fucking dirty plate? You were trying to figure out where the spoiled food was at, and you found it. Ooh, Five of Swords. That's why I told y'all when I saw that salty card, I'm like, that don't make sense. Because I felt like somebody else was dragging something, like totally dragging it and reaching on a situation because they were bitter and being petty about it. Wow. What's this King of Wands reversed with the Ace of Cups? Two of Wands. Whatever decision was made, somebody is angry about it. They still trying to fight it, child. They still trying to fight it. But I feel like they're getting denied or they're getting blocked. They might have to even issue an apology. Like, this could even be a situation that goes as big as like somebody having to issue a public apology, especially if you guys, depending on who you are, Six of Wands, I don't know you, okay? Six of Wands Sun card, I don't know your life, but I'm happy for you, especially if you know things are turning around. If somebody publicly humiliated you, I feel like we're in a season, Pisces, where if it's public humiliation, it's public vindication. If it's private humiliation, then you might, get some private vindication. But whatever level the disrespect was, whatever level the betrayal was, whatever the dynamics of, the travesty that was done to you is the same way that it will have to be recouped on the other side. So I would say I almost bit my tongue. So don't say anything. If you get some type of information, don't be rubbing it in people's face. Like we talked about already, just, keep your motherfucking composure. Because I'm telling you, sometimes it's hard and you don't know where there's a blessing and you don't want to block your own blessings. Because I'm telling you, because I'm telling you because I don't want you to make the same mistakes or have to learn the same lessons that I have had to learn. And I'm not talking about just in the past. I'm talking about in real time. I'm trying to hip y'all to the motherfucking T. Take a minute, count to 10, count down from 10 to 1 or count up from 1 to 10. Compose yourself and keep that wild shark under control, okay? Don't bite no goddamn body, okay? Magician. Ooh, and the Ace of Swords. There go that Ace of Swords that was with the title card. So there's action being taken behind the scenes when it comes to a decision that's been made. Whatever this decision is, it's hidden. But it's a victory, I feel like, for you. It's a blessing for you. And it provides you not only clarity, documentation and proof, and victory, but freedom from whatever this chaos is. Somebody was really trying to manipulate the truth. And I feel like whoever was in charge or in a position of power to make a decision saw that the truth was being manipulated by someone. And that's why they basically were doing a lot of things behind the scenes to cut through the bullshit. One more card for this Two of Wands, King of Wands reversed, and the Ace of Cups. Oh, wow. The title card almost came out. Let me shuffle that. Ooh, look at the star. Okay. That star card right there. Yeah, she got clothes on. One more card for this Ace of Cups, King of Wands reverse, Two of Cups. When it comes to... Ooh, look at how the card landed on me, y'all. You can see my titty. What this change will bring. I don't think it matters if it was upright or reversed. Because technically that's 5 wands reversed, which means no more fighting, no more conflict, no more chaos, no more back and forth, no more arguments, no more discord. There's nothing else that can be done to fight this. I feel like somebody is still fighting this and they're being told, like, no. Somebody has chosen a hill that they want to die on when it comes to trying to create chaos in your life. And I feel like they're being told, no, stop. That's it. Ooh, bitch. The World card. No, stop. That's it. And the 4 cups. See what I'm saying? Somebody is disappointed that it didn't work out in their favor. They're disappointed that they weren't able to manipulate the truth or manipulate the decision or do whatever they do to create the outcome that they wanted to create. They're upset that it didn't work out. It ended and it didn't work out in their favor. And they're being advised, whoever the fuck this idiot is, they're being advised that they need to ground themselves back in to reality, snap out of it, and figure out why they did this. But for you, we saw the Fool and now we see the World card. So this means, and with the Ace of Cups, is definitely indicative of this change basically bringing in a fresh start for you, clearing the slate. Some of you guys may have had to fight something on your credit to get something off of your credit. Some of you guys may have had to get something off of your criminal record. Something may be closed. I heard open and shut case or closed case. They're not going to be able to retry this. They're not going to be able to bring it back up to the judge. They're not going to be able to refile any appeals or anything like that. It's like an open and shut case pretty much. And some of you may also get this case expunged, is it, off your record or sealed, so that there's no remnants that could possibly come back up in the future. And I feel like that's what this is about. Also, I feel like this person has used this strategy before because this is a repetitive thing. They keep trying to do this either to other people like they did it to you, or they keep trying to do it to you and it doesn't work any fucking time. They've gotten the same result every time and they are really livid. Just completely livid that you overcame something that they were trying to throw at you, or that you beat them or won in the situation. But it's like, that's why the Four of Wands is in reverse, because of the outcome working out in your favor. Because look, 4 + 2 is what? 6. So I feel like because of this person's loss, I guess you could say, or because of their defeat, there's a victory for you. But it's only, like, don't be conceited about it. I think Spirit wants to make sure that that's very clear. And they also wanted to make very clear the highlight of the amount of work that you've put in, not to cut corners and to have integrity, which also carries into the results of this, so that you can continue to move forward without any blemishes. It's just, they're showing me that this person continues to act this way, thinking that they're not going to have any repercussions. And it's just finally this person's actions are catching up to them. I feel like they even could have lied in court or lied on a legal document. There was just some bullshit going on. I feel like not only, you know what's crazy too? No matter how much, and it's raining too, it started raining earlier in the reading. No matter how much I feel like this person may have caused you problems, and no matter how much I feel like you guys kind of, you don't really care for whoever this is, you don't want to deal with them. It's like, yeah, you probably have some challenging feelings towards this person or these people or this group, this organization, this job, whatever. You may have challenging feelings towards these people, and some of you may want to go ahead and show them what the pavement looks like, and I don't blame you, and I don't think Spirit blames you. I also feel inherently, like in your soul, in your spirit, in your heart space, that you don't want any harm to come to anyone, including them. Like, because of the way that you guys are set up, because of the way that your integrity flows, and because of the way that you just want peace and harmony and balance, I feel kind of that the fact that you don't possess any ill will or hatred towards this person allow for this situation to come out as a blessing. Like, whatever happened, even if this person has to go to jail, even if they lose their job, even if there's some type of repercussions and consequences to their actions, it's not as bad for them as it could have been. And this is going to blow a lot of smoke up some of y'all's ass that needs to get your head out your ass. So listen, be responsible about what I'm saying. That's your responsibility. But I think because of a lot of you guys' desire for everyone to have peace, including the people who are toxic, right? Because of your desire to want people's demons to be slayed, because of your desire for people to be happy in life, and like your understanding empathetically to what someone may have experienced. I don't think you hold any hostility or resentment towards this person, which is actually saving them. And even though they may be angry, they know that you are that way. And therefore, it's ultimately something that can help them live a more peaceful life or turn them in the right direction if they choose to do so. Do y'all get what I'm saying? I hope y'all understand what I'm saying. It's all about what this person is going to choose to do with this opportunity. If they face it and they're courageous enough to face the truth and learn from it and not act this way again, they will be blessed as well. Because sometimes when you have that source connection, when you are an earth angel or you have this anointing over your life, that is what you are here to do. It not only benefits you for the jobs and responsibilities that you may have as a spiritual being, but it also serves as the opportunity for redemption in cases where people have been overcome by negativity or by devils and demons. And I think that's a bigger picture perspective, because like sometimes you look at people and you wonder why they're strung out on drugs, but you don't know what their childhood was like. You don't know who stole their innocence, right? And we've all had innocence stolen from us in some way, shape, or form. And you may be dealing with somebody who has a very traumatic history. And I think because inherently a lot of you guys can pick up on that and tap into that, and your empath abilities activate that knowledge within you. You inherently don't want any harm to come to anyone, because you know more than likely the reason why they're acting the way they're acting is because their innocence was stolen in a traumatic or violent way. Even if it wasn't as serious as what has happened to you, or even if it's, you know, more serious than whatever's happened to you, you can pick up on that intuitively. And ultimately, you set the intention subconsciously for no harm to come to them, because you don't want any harm to come to you. And I think this is what this person, it's like that's what Spirit is trying to get this person to realize, so that they take the opportunity, they take the envelope and move with it accordingly to do better in their life. But also Spirit wants you to know this so that you won't have any hard feelings or harbor any resentment that festers and creates another root of, you know, shadow energy that you then have to eradicate later. Okay? Boom. 8 of Cups. You see what I'm saying? So what's the 6 of Wands? Bitch, 2 of Pentacles. Yeah, the decision was made in your favor. 5 of Swords, 7 of Pentacles. Yeah. Definitely the decision was made in your favor. I feel like it was all about the way that things have been handled. That's what was used and considered when it comes to the contemplation of who would come out on top, who would be victorious. It's been a sequence of events, and I feel like that's what was considered, is the sequence of events. So even though you may have played a role in something, more of the liability or fault fell on the other party. That's what I feel like that's about, okay? Ciao. Let me see. Let's just get a scoop deck. I feel like what's really changed overall is your perspective this week because of the situations that you've dealt with. You're no longer running, you're facing things head on. And because of your perspective being more positive and optimistic, you have hope that you'll receive the things that will replenish you. Yeah. What else? Anything else that Pisces needs to know when it comes to this information? Black magic, bitch. I know you lying. Someone has been using dark magic. They've just been creating negativity. And then we have balance. A situation needs more balance. You see what I'm saying? You see how when I say, like, I don't think you were the aggressor. I don't think you were the person who was aggressively being petty and bitter and doing things to create chaos. No matter whatever your situation is, even if you were upset about the way somebody was treating you, you were not aggressively and actively trying to drill this person into the ground. They were definitely doing that to you. And if you did play a role in it, I feel like even when you tried to take accountability or you attempted to make something right, whoever this person is decided instead of creating symmetry, instead of like resolving this, I'm going to start some shit. That's what they said. Because I really feel that with this Five of Swords, that's why I said that, like, with this Five of Swords, you had a role to play, Pisces. I'm not sitting here blowing smoke up your ass telling you that you're completely innocent. You had a role to play. Because for a while, you weren't letting this go. For a while, you wanted your get back. You wanted your justice. You wanted this person to get karma. Be real with yourself. And don't fucking lie to me. Because if you sitting over there talking about, I ain't do anything, you a liar. And you still got work you need to do. Grow up. But a lot of you guys are aware. Like, hey, listen. Fuck the bullshit. I definitely was trying to whoop off on that motherfucker. I definitely was trying to beat their ass. I definitely was trying to slap some sense into them and give them the whooping that they mama didn't give. I sure was. And for those of y'all who say that, that's why you're coming out on top. Because you ain't playing, you're not playing victim. You're not being foolish. You're not acting like you didn't have a part to play. And that's what that's about. It's like, I feel like at a certain point, y'all realized, I'm going to let go and let God. Because I don't think that you were wrong for wanting that or feeling that way. I just think that you had to learn that the outcome will come out better if you take your hands off the wheel. That's why this balance card is here like that. That's why I said that. Because as you were trying to achieve balance and take your hand off the wheel and say, you know what? I don't want any hard feelings. You may have even apologized to somebody. You may have tried to quell the conflict, try to find some type of common ground, compromise, and somebody just did not want to do it with that black magic card. Yep. Blockages and obstacles. You see what I'm saying? I feel like last October, you were really trying to resolve the situation peacefully. You were trying to come to some type of common ground, and somebody wanted to fuck with you. What else does Pisces need to know? Growth. You will grow from this situation. Wow. Because now you have more knowledge and awareness of how to resolve issues with people who throw this particular brand of black magic at you. Just like how you learn how to cook with different seasonings and you understand what taste you're going to get from each seasoning. That's what this is. The more that you understand what result you're going to get in anything that you do, whether it's driving cars, cooking food, whatever it is that you do, the more that you experience something, the more you can gauge and hypothesize about what result you're going to receive when you're in that same type of situation and those same variables are present. Listen, I'm trying to tell you, we have kicked out life purpose. Yeah, because again, this goes back to what we talked about when it comes to what a lot of you guys' missions and fates and destinies are. What a lot of you guys have as far as gifts. And just in general, even if you're not talking about gifts, even if you're just talking about your life, your legacy, this is a part of what's helping your spirit grow. Okay? You had to get kicked out. You had to get evicted. You had to get fired. You had to get let go. This is a part of, resolving that. This is what it is. Being bound to blockages because you can't let things go, and then seeing through the fog, getting a clearer vision, and realizing that you just have to be grateful for not only who you are, your life, but the experience, the opportunity, and then leave it behind, even if somebody tries to be petty with you about it. It's helping you grow it's helping you grow from those toxic emotions that cause you to have unfinished business. Because I really feel like a lot of you guys who have found this channel are definitely people who have decided, declared, and decreed that you do not want to live any more of these lives where you have to learn these lessons, and you trying to clear all your karma up in this lifetime. So that's why it may have been very hard for you, because you're ready to move on to the next chapter, the next stage of your soul's evolution, whatever that means. One more card for Pisces when it comes to this situation. Dead. Something has come to a complete end. Somebody is not going to be able to stifle or stagnate your growth. We saw the stagnation card. There's no longer going to be this ability, as specifically for this demon that you've been dealing with, that's been jumping all over these different people, spider leg, face, ass, all over everybody's back. They can't get to you no more. Now, you may get to this next stage in your life and have to face new levels and new devils. But for this particular situation, I feel like you guys have laid to rest a really big chunk of karma in your life. Like, you've laid it to rest, you repaid it, you did what you needed to do. Guidance and toxic family. Some of you are currently being guided to end situations with a toxic family member, an ex-husband, ex-wife, baby mama, baby daddy, mother, father, siblings, cousins, grandparents, children. I don't care who it is. Somebody in your family or a group. It doesn't necessarily even have to be your family. It could literally be a group that's caused a lot of trouble. I feel like some of you may find out that someone with ill intent towards you that could also be why you came out victorious in a situation. Because I think someone with ill intent towards you targeted your family, or they partnered up with your family member, and your family member worked against you when they were supposed to be there for you, to support you. That's only for some of y'all, but it definitely feels like there was some type of collaborative effort to create stagnation or slow you down. Yeah. Yeah. This puts you in a power position. You're being put in a power position because of this. What's this black magic, growth, and dead? Ooh, shit. That's definitely some type of family connection. It's also just saying in general that you won't have to deal with this on an everyday basis with the Ten of Cups reversed. Yeah, Eight of Wands moving forward, and the Chariot definitely moving forward. This is the last time I feel like you're going to have to hear from someone. Like, you may have to travel to sign paperwork, or you may receive communication about like somebody's will and testament being read, or It's like something, it's like this is the last time you're going to have to deal with something, and you're finally going to be able to move forward from it. This is the last time you're going to have to hear some type of unhappy communication. You're not going to have to keep hearing about this. One more card for the black magic, growth, and dead. Somebody might have died, literally. Yeah, the Emperor. Interesting. The Moon. And the Ten of Pentacles. Yeah, there's definitely somebody here who's been secretly controlling the family, secretly controlling your money, secretly controlling your income, secretly controlling, like, I don't know what this is, for a long time. There was a hidden organizer or a hidden orchestrator, puppet master in this situation. This could literally be like a father or grandfather passing. This person may not necessarily favor you, or this could be a situation where you were favored by this person and you maybe were made to think that you weren't. Like, just say, for example, you had a stepmother who didn't fuck with you. Because the King of Wands is reversed. This could be a woman in her masculine acting crazy. This could be a man in their feminine acting crazy and imbalanced. But it kind of feels like if this is a family situation, you may have had like a sibling or a stepmother or cousin or somebody who was trying to, kind of like I described in that other reading where we used the Edgar Allan Poe tarot deck, that like Ponzi schemes and family members trying to get the, you know, senile old relatives to spend all their money or give them all the money or change the will or do really weird shit and make you look bad in that person's eyes. But then that person saw through it and they know that you're not like that. It's like whatever this convoluted shit is, I feel like it's finally done. Because either the issue has been resolved, like if whoever was the matriarch or patriarch passed away and the will was being contested, it's like now there's a final ruling, or now there's like a final decree in the situation. And it's like no one else you can't argue this anymore. You can't appeal this anymore. You can't do anything anymore. Shut the fuck up, because it's done. That's what it feels like. It's either this person specifically is putting it to rest because whatever this is has been discovered, whatever treachery has been discovered, and they're putting it to rest, or whatever organization or court system to resolve the issue on their behalf is putting it to rest. That is crazy. One card for Ten of Cups reversed and the Emperor. It could be a Cancer, Aries, Taurus, Virgo, Pisces. It seems like a Cancer, Aries, though. Like somebody with Cancer, Aries, and possibly Taurus in their chart. King of Swords. Yeah, and I said Virgo. Yeah. Death card. Ooh, Scorpio. And the Ten of Swords. Damn. Somebody may have even been like unalived. Somebody may have had some type of untimely death. Ten of Swords, Ten of Cups, Ten of Pentacles. And then we have the Ten of Wands. That goes back to the reason why. It's like definitely somebody was definitely burdened by either a betrayal that they feel like they did to you, or a betrayal that they feel guilty about because it was done to you and they didn't do anything about it, or like they were forced by somebody who wanted to betray you for them to betray you and they didn't really have a choice. And like as things began to unfold, like as the sun started to come up, as light began to be shown, this King of Swords was able to discern the truth through the lies. Somebody was lying over and over and over again. And whoever this King of Swords is was like the mediator or the deciding factor. Or this could be the person who was lying. It's either a Scorpio, a Gemini, a Libra, or an Aquarius who was possibly, I feel like, lying. I also feel like there's an older masculine who's either a Cancer, an Aries, possibly a Taurus or a Virgo. But as the sun began to rise, whatever change happened, whatever death took place, literally or figuratively, it created this situation where it's like there's a silver lining, because that's what the two fingers means right here. That's what the Hierophant two fingers mean, because we saw the Hierophant earlier and I was kind of feeling like the Hierophant was more like a justice card because the Seven of Swords was next to it. You get what I'm saying? So it kind of feels like there was this energy of spirit trying to deliver you faith and hope. Like, don't lose hope in the situation. There's going to be a silver lining here. There's a reason why this is happening. It's like there had to be some type of chaos in order to bring order. And it really feels like to me that because of a change that was made, or because of a change that occurred, it was more clearly visible what the lies were, or it was easier for whoever was discerning through the lies to see what the truth was within the lies, which allowed for what was hidden about this person or what was hidden about you to be revealed, and for there to be some type of forward progress or movement in the situation. That's crazy. That's what's changed. That's what's changed. Either you see the truth through the lies, somebody else sees the truth through the lies, or because of your perspective, you were able to see a solution in a situation that appeared hopeless. That's what I get. Let's get an advice card. Ooh, have mercy, God. These readings have been very heavy, child. I think you were so focused for a long time on being like actively involved in fighting this or fighting for yourself that you kind of lost sight of the things that you enjoy. You didn't have a lot of happiness or anything to really look forward to in life. And some of you guys decided like, hey, I'm not going to keep fighting this. I'm going to step away and do things that I enjoy. Fuck you. Fuck this situation. Fuck everything that's going on. Because remember that reading I did a while back at the old place where I was like, the thumbnail is actually me on the thumbnail with the card or something that I'm holding up. And the thumbnail says, fuck it. Sometimes you just got to say, fuck it. And I think that's when you guys, I believe that could have been back in October because we saw the Halloween card a few cards ago. I don't remember exactly when it was, but I think that at a certain point you just said, you know what? I'm going to let go and let God, let the chips fall where they may. Fuck it. I'm done. I'm about to live my life like it's golden, because I think you guys realize that the more force you wanted to exert on the situation, the more it convoluted it became. And you just let spirit handle it, which allowed them to really step in and do what needed to be done. And that's where I feel like a lot of you guys are learning and growing and becoming more wise. Wow. What is the advice for Pisces? This is amazing. Abundance. Ooh, reverse. But look. So this is what they want you to know that they feel like you don't know. Or this is what they want you to think more of that they feel like you don't think enough about, or something like that. Now, it says abundance. Abundance is my essence, my foundation, and my being. Yes, ma'am. They want you to think that more often. It says the angels are telling you that you already possess the power to have everything you've ever dreamed of and more. When you cultivate true joy, love, peace, passion, purpose, and freedom inside yourself, you'll see these things reflected back to you in your outside world. So yeah, they want you to be aware of this. They want you to know that you automatically have an energy of abundance on you. Because I feel like some of you guys may have felt like you were experiencing bad luck, or that you were cursed or something like that. And they're trying to tell you, no, you're not. You have abundance on you. There's nothing wrong with you. There's nothing cursed about you. You're not being punished. You're about to receive the opposite of this, or you have the ability to create the opposite of lack, which is abundance in your life. Now, again, this healing card, my body is deserving of love, comfort, and rest. The angels are telling you that despite being mentally and physically drained, which I feel like you guys are starting to come out of, you have the strength to overcome this. Keep moving forward, and the universe will shower you with love and healing energy soon. I know that's right. And then we have love. Yep, I give my heart, ready to receive the heart of another. The angels are supporting your relationship and want to remind you of the importance of giving love and support to your partner. Spend time with your loved ones and balance your affection in a healthy way. Yeah, some of you guys are going to find love, honestly. Because now it's like, because of whatever decision has been made, either by you or by an outside authority, someone can no longer fight with you or create conflict in your life. It's like, I feel like it's like an invisible wall. And for those of you who've like been feeling just kind of cursed or unlucky, I'm hearing, if I didn't have bad luck, I wouldn't have any luck at all. That may be how some of you have felt, like whether it's in love, whether it's in financial situations. I feel like what I told you guys in the past rings true. And this is part of the resolution of this, which was that some of you have so much that God wants to give to you, but that you were not able to receive yet, because this situation needed to be resolved. I told y'all before, some of you guys haven't found relationships because your kids need to be grown, so that there's no bitter children being little assholes fucking up your relationship with somebody. And so there's no bitter baby mamas or baby daddies or ex-husbands or ex-wives fucking up your relationship with somebody through the kids, right? Like, there needs to be some type of resolution to these chaotic situations, so that God can deliver to you, spirit, source, whoever you believe in, what it is that you ultimately have waiting for you. And I really feel like for a lot of you guys, that's what is changing. Something monumental may have happened this week. I don't know your life. Let me know in the comments. But it feels like this is a part of that puzzle. This is a major piece, a really big chunk of something that needed to be resolved, either by your perspective changing or by developments being made, so that you can have more reassurance. So I hope that helped you guys. As always, like and subscribe to continue to catch the vibe, Pisces. If you want to book your reading, the link is below. Leave me a comment. Let me know if you liked this video or if it resonated with you. Share any advice that you have for your fellow Pisces if you are, able to, share some type of reassurance to them as well. And I hope to see you guys next time. Enjoy your weekend, okay? And I'll see you tomorrow if you want to come back. Hope you do. Can't wait to see you. But most importantly, Pisces, this is our circle, booze. Bye.